537, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Dan Mandis here along with Jay Harper and Jeff Malinoff. And, well, it is that time of year. It's the last day of 2024 and good riddance. Now, I'm a little, I don't know, in a lot of ways 2024 sucked. But in other ways, 2024 was, great because we had a super terrific, happy election. So I don't know whether to hate 2024 or love 2024 because good things happened and bad things happened. But of course, it is New Year's Eve and everyone knows that there's no city in America that puts a party on like Nashville, Tennessee. So first of all, I want to talk about the weather, and then I want to talk about what Nashville's got going on tonight, because Nashville typically has a lot of concerts and that kind of a thing. So, Jay, what is the weather supposed to be like this evening?
Yeah, Dan, one of the first things people will notice as they go out the door this morning is how darn windy it is. We're looking at wind gusts up to about 20 miles an hour. But as far as the temperature is concerned, look for it to start going down throughout the day. Okay. But as the sun goes down, we're looking at, temperatures at about 47 degrees. But by the time midnight rolls around here, Dan, at least it's going to be dry. The wind will start to die down, and we'll be at around 40 degrees for Nashville's Big Bash tonight.
All right, so now what is the Big Bash? Because I think Keith Urban is hosting it. I'm assuming he's going to play, too.
Yeah, Keith Urban, you're correct, Dan. It all takes place. It's an annual event over at Bicentennial Capitol Mall State Park. Man, You've got some superstars in addition to Keith Urban. Country stars Kane Brown, Jelly Roll, Eric Church, Miranda Lambert, Luke Bryan, Luke Combs, and a whole host of other country stars. And, of course, a friend of WTN, John Rich, is going to be performing with his group Big and Rich, so it ought to be quite rich this evening.
And it sounds big.
Yeah, big time. And that's why it's the Big Bash.
TM.
You guys, gonna go down and do that?
God, no.
No.
Broadway on any holiday is the worst time to go. 4th of July is probably the worst, but this is a close second.
Oh, yeah. See, I make a habit of just avoiding those things at all cost.
Yeah.
I don't like doing that stuff. And for me, it's like, I actually go by, it's midnight somewhere, and I'm usually in bed by like 8 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm a lot of fun.
Well, you have been up for like 12 hours already. I think, sleeping at 8 o'clock is late for you.
Yeah, usually, because I did Red Eye Radio and people are just joining us. So yeah, it's going to be, for me, I'm going to try to go to bed like right at 9 when I get off here, and go to bed at 9 and then sleep for a few hours and then try to be at least semi-useful throughout the day instead of walking around like a zombie like I usually do. I had the weirdest thing happen overnight. So not to give too much information about my house, but my studio, and I'm from home today. My studio is in the basement. My basement is connected to my garage. I am in the middle of a monologue. And my garage door opens. This is the door that leads to the garage, so like the basement, the basement door. And so I'm literally talking. And all of a sudden, the door, and it is a very squeaky door. And I'm looking to my left, and it's very slow. And it's just slowly opening, and I'm like, what the hell? Because my dog, Bandit, is sitting, by the way, great guard dog. He didn't even wake up. So Bandit is at my feet, and I'm just looking to my left, and I'm trying to do a monologue. And the door is like opening up and it's creaking And I have no idea what the heck's going on. It must, Jay, you were talking about the wind.
Yeah, maybe wind, the pressure or something in your home garage due to the wind outside, maybe contributing to that.
It's supposed to be 27 miles per hour today of wind.
Is that what it's supposed to be, 27,
Jay?
Jay?
Gus up in the 20s, yeah.
All right. Very good. You know what's interesting? You were talking about, you said, Jay, that Nashville is the number one city in America for car thefts?
No. Tennessee, the state, has ranked among the top 10 states for motor vehicle thefts. We come in at number 9.
Where do you think we would be if we got rid of Memphis?
Well, you know who
200.
What the biggest city for thefts in Tennessee is Chattanooga.
Chattanooga?
Really?
Yeah. It is
That's
really,
surprising.
really surged there.
Dan, I was with you. I thought Memphis was the one that took the cake for us in that list.
Now I feel bad. Yeah, because we always say that if it weren't for Memphis, Tennessee would be a great state, which it is, but...
Yeah, they do skew our numbers west of us there on a lot of bad stuff.
They do have that pyramid of Bass Pro Shop. That's pretty cool, but that's about it. You drive that. You see that when you're driving fast out of the city.
The pyramid of Bass Pro Shop?
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
Oh.
I have not been to Memphis.
So
I've driven through.
They built this massive pyramid. I think it used to be like a shopping center or something like that. So Bass Pro Shop bought it, and now it's just a the pyramid. It's a giant pyramid shaped Bass Pro Shop. It's the Memphis's big like tourist attraction, quote unquote.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm not.
That and the you're now leaving Memphis is the most seen thing there.
Hey, hey, Jay, you want to have some fun with Malinoff? I want to see if Malinoff knows what this means. You ready, Jeff?
I'm ready.
Okay,
Bring it.
I'll be
all right, because I know that Jay's going to get this. Kiss my grits. Jeff, do you know what that means?
Yes.
Do you know what it's from?
I know it from not from the actual source. I've just known it from popular sports guys saying that to not get fined.
Kiss my grits?
Yeah, Terrell Owens back in the day used to say that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so you know that is from the movie Alice, or the show Alice.
The TV show Alice.
The TV show Alice.
I think I know why you're going to the Alice direction.
Because Lyndon Lavin died.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
My mom was sad. I remember texting her, I'm like, do you know who this is? Because I saw it on, I think it was Truth Social. I was supposed to something. Truth Social gives me great updates for the record. And I don't know why. They're really good at it. That's where I get, X doesn't give me updates. Truth Social does. But anyways, it was Alice that died. And I was like, Mom, do you know who this is? She was like, oh, my God, yes. And she got all sad about it.
Yeah, 87 years of age.
All right, so I'm going to admit I didn't even know that she was still alive.
Yeah. A
But
lot of people from that show have passed. Gwen Dowland was on that show. Vic Tayback played Mel.
Yep. Well, who was so go back. Who is the second person you mentioned?
Gwen Dowland. She played. I believe her character's name was Vera. She was one of the waitresses on the show.
Oh yeah, Vera. Yeah, Vera. So Linda Lavin was Alice. She was the straightforward person.
Correct.
You had Vera, who was the dingbat.
Yeah.
And and then you had Flo.
Yeah, Polly Holiday. Yeah. And I believe she's still around, I believe.
Oh, she can't still be around. Flo?
I believe Polly Holiday's still alive. I could very well be
Okay,
wrong.
you know what? I hope she is.
Yeah.
Vic Tayback died a long time ago.
Yeah. And sadly, the young man that played her son, he passed away a number of years ago.
Yeah.
Very, very young man.
By the way, we're getting crucified on the super text line.
Yeah, I forgot about Graceland. But in my defense, Graceland is too good for Memphis.
Listen, I agree with that. I actually agree with that. I think that, and I've never been to Graceland. I think
I've always wanted to.
Oh, you haven't been either?
I haven't been. It's on. I want to visit. I think it'll be so cool because just Elvis was such a. He was a once in a lifetime kind of performer, and just seeing where he lived would be cool.
Jay, you've been a long time Tennessean. I think probably longer than me. You've been to Graceland?
I have not.
Really?
Yeah.
How is it the three of us?
Yeah,
have
I know,
never been
man.
to Graceland?
Road trip.
I moved here in '85, and I'm to Tennessee, Nashville, and I'm embarrassed to admit, no, I've not been to Graceland to see all of the purple velvet wallpaper. No.
Oh, it looks so cool.
I've not seen any of that.
You know what I wish they would do though is, and by the way, somebody let me know 2676 says Graceland is garbage, just like its surroundings.
But I feel like if you're in Tennessee, you kind of have to visit at least once. If you live here, I feel like I don't think I'm officially Tennessean until I have to see Graceland just once.
You know what? I think actually you're right. You're not a Tennessean unless you've seen Graceland, you've been disappointed by the Titans, and apparently some kid steals your car. Like those are the three things that.
And a homeless guy yells at you. A homeless guy yells at you on Broadway. That's another one.
Yeah, I've been yelled at on Broadway.
Yeah, that's why I have too. That's why I'm like, I feel like everyone has.
Yeah, how many of us haven't been yelled at or stepped in puke? I mean, let's be honest.
I've avoided that.
Or almost hit by a chair thrown by Morgan Wallen.
That's a special Tennessean. That's like gold membership.
Is that what it is? There's a lot of Tennessee. There's a lot of Tennessee things that I still haven't done, and I want to get them done. I do want to go to Graceland. I do want to go to a minor league game there in Memphis because they've got a great minor league ballpark,
the Redbirds.
from what I understand.
Redbirds, yeah.
Go
That's
Sounds.
Right. The Sounds have a good one too. I go to the Sounds all the time.
Well, there might be MLB is thinking about putting a real major league team here, which I think is a brilliant
They're not
idea.
going to. They're not going to. I guarantee you they're not going to.
Well, why not? Well,
because Atlanta feels like they own us, and if it's not the Braves, it's the Reds.
Right. Cincinnati and Atlanta would not be happy about it. And St. Louis, for that matter.
well, the voting would be all the owners, and I think a majority would say yes to an expansion team here, and they would be left out in the cold.
All right, so when is that vote? Because
I don't know, but I know Manfred, the commissioner, has been saying he's been very interested in this market, which of course he would be because this market has grown.
Yeah,
like when the Predators went to the Stanley Cup in like 2017, that just brought a whole new fan. Like that just brought fans together into like. And the Titans were good. Just there was a lot of good teams here, and money was just pouring into them. Mm-hmm. And if you bring another, and baseball's big here. People outside of Nashville don't see that, but baseball's
baseball.
big. Yeah. Baseball is huge here. Like when the Braves won, people were celebrating all over the place here in Nashville. So if they brought a team here, that would bring so much revenue.
Can we do this? Now I was born without the sports gene, so I don't know how this works. Mm-hmm. Can we trade the Titans for like a Major League Baseball team? Can we do that?
Separate leagues, I don't think that would work. However,
is that not how it works?
We could get a team from the MLB to move out here, but we need them to be in financial straits. Like Tampa Bay was an ideal team to move out to here because but they're building a new stadium down there, so they're there for a while.
65-64, Memphis is a cesspool.
Correct.
Real Tennesseans don't go to Broadway, 46-32.
This is also true.
Yeah, that's true.
You go there when your family's like out of towners are here, and you're like, all right, let's go for one night. Come on.
One person says we're talking about things you need to do if you're a Tennessean. You need to listen to Nashville's Morning News. But other than that, Fall Creek Falls. That was one of the first dates that Amy and I ever went on.
Yeah,
we went to
nice.
Falls Creek Falls. I have indeed been to the Jack Daniels. What is that? A brewery? Is that what you call it? Distillery.
That's a good one too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen, there is never nothing to do here in Nashville, and that's why, to be honest with you, I always feel like I don't have to go out and do anything because there's so much stuff here, and it's always going to be here. So for me, I like to do the concerts and that kind of a thing. Tim's Ford Lake is a thing that I love doing. But I think the only thing, do you know, it took me a long time before I even went to Dollywood. And then when I finally went to Dollywood, and Jay, I don't know, have you been to Dollywood?
I have never been to Dollywood. No.
Malinoff?
I have not.
What is wrong with you? Do you guys ever do anything?
Well, we're working.
Oh, you're working. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we should plan a boys trip, and we'll go all the way west to Graceland and then all the way east
all the way
to Dollywood. Yeah. I'm sure that would be...
We wouldn't come back. They'll be like, we all got robbed and we're all walking back home.
4702. You know what? We'll have to do Dollywood first so that when we go to Memphis, it's a little easier just to get back to just Nashville.
Well, we need to go to the Glock store and buy some couple of rounds first before we head down there.
Couple of rounds. You go to Memphis, you're going to need like a lot of rounds. By the way, people saying the Ryman, Gatlinburg is a must. I love Gatlinburg.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Historical places are awesome.
4702 says it would have to be an American League team.
Yes.
Is that true?
Well, National League does have more teams, so it would have to be an American League, which there's really no difference because, but American League is fine. Like that's National League and American League. That's just conferences.
Yeah, I mean, the closest, I guess, American League team would be the White Sox, I guess.
Yeah, because the Braves and
Chicago.
the Reds and St. Louis are all National League. An American League team would kind of...
Well, so Las Vegas still does not have a team, correct?
Well, they are eventually, they're going to be, the Oakland A's are moving there.
Oh, that's right.
They're in Sacramento for a season or two.
Right.
Yeah, and it was just announced if they get into the playoffs, Sacramento cannot host a playoff game because it's not big enough. So if the A's get into the playoffs and they're still in Sacramento, they have to find a new place to play their home games during playoffs.
I'm reasonably certain the A's are not going to make it into the playoffs. They are terrible team.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, it is 5:54. Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7. Jay Harper, what is coming up in the news?
Yeah, Dan, at the top of the hour, more details on that horrific plane crash in South Korea. And we will also have the latest on that National Day of Mourning that's been declared after the passing of our 39th president. That comes up at the top of the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.